Welcome everyone to this perspective drawing tutorial where we will be drawing this modern house in 2 points perspective. So I'm going to begin by placing the horizon line a little below the centre of the page. This line, as many of you will know by now, is our eye level, and our vanishing points will be placed on this line at either side. Now here we will start by constructing a box in 2 points perspective, and our vanishing points will be off the page here, but not too far off the page. My ruler was able to reach them, but it wouldn't matter if it didn't because we are usually having to estimate the direction of these lines anyways. I extend my lines all the way to the edges of the page as well. So I construct a box around this size and we will be drawing our modern house within this box. Now to start doing that, I'm going to firstly divide up this side of the box in half, finding its centre line by taking a diagonal line to each corner, and where these intersect is where my line will be. Now a little below this I draw another line which is also directed to that left vanishing point. Above this I add another line that's the same thickness. So where these lines I have just drawn meet the corners of the box, I draw some more lines back to that right vanishing point. Over on this side again, I add a vertical line to the left between these two lines, and where that line meets the other at the top, I take a line back to the right vanishing point. So we are constructing this house within this box we had started with, and I'll continue to go through this step by step. So here I take another line from the end of this section across to that right vanishing point again. And now I am going to add a vertical line, and I take my time to decide where I want this to be, because the top section of this building is going to be extruding forward past this lower section, and this line here will be where it does that. So I only draw these vertical lines up until it meets the planes above them, and at those points I draw 2 lines which will create another plane for the front of the house. I bring these lines across to the other side and back to that right vanishing point, essentially sandwiching this section of the building between this other section. Now towards the back of the house here, there is going to be a section which will step out, and so I start to draw this by constructing another box. Now this box isn't going to be flush with the section of the building which extrudes all the way out. Instead, I'm going to bring it in slightly to create a small overhang. This box will be at the same height as this one is also 2 stories. So whilst this looks like a load of lines at the minute, we've actually constructed the majority of the house now, and I will make that clear when I outline this soon. But first, I'm going to add some surrounding features like a small set of stairs and a platform for this house to sit on. So I'll start by dropping down these lines at the corners of the box here to a distance I am happy with. I'll do this at each corner and join them up with some lines heading to the vanishing points. Now at the front of this, I'm going to add a long step, and this of course is just a long rectangle. You might have noticed by now that most of the time we are just drawing boxes like this. Now to the side here, I'm going to draw out a set of steps, and whilst this may look fairly complex, it's actually very simple. Again, I'm just stacking smaller boxes on top of each other, making sure my lines are directed to the vanishing points. I also want each of these steps to be the same size. So here I have constructed this house now, and I'll go ahead and outline this more clearly. If you are following along with this and have gotten to this stage, then congratulations, because the most challenging part of this drawing is over with. Now it's more so just a case of adding some detail to this, drawing in the windows and doors. So I start to do this by dividing up these planes that I'm going to be drawing the windows on. Now you'll often see me divide them in half and then half again, so that I can draw in the window frames at equal sizes. Remember, we have to consider the foreshortening, and so this technique is a good way to do that. This front section is going to be a large window, and as I work my way around the side, I'm going to continue dividing up these planes and drawing in some more windows. There's going to be a door here as well, and of course you are free to be creative when it comes to this stage. You don't have to draw in everything the same way as I do here. I'll continue drawing in some windows on the section above, and I approach this the same way. Now that I have these windows and doors drawn out, I'm going to add a line around this top section which is extruding out. Seeing as this is a balcony, it needs a barrier to stop the residents of this house falling to their deaths. So now I am done drawing this modern house and I'm pretty happy with how it looks. At this stage you can leave your drawing as it is if you just want this line work, or you can go ahead and render it however you like. I'm going to start shading this in using my pencil, and I'll place this part of the tutorial into a time lapse. It's pretty self-explanatory what I am doing here, and so here I'll let this play out until the end of the video. If you enjoyed this tutorial, then you may be interested in some of the other perspective drawing content on the channel. I have a series dedicated to perspective drawing, and I also create additional tutorials exactly like this over on the Patreon page. With that being said, please give the video a like and consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date with the content I make in the future. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one. If you enjoyed the content I create, then do consider becoming a patron on Patreon. You will gain access to exclusive tutorials, study documents, process papers, real-time drawing footage and more. Plus you will also be supporting me in a more personal way. Other than that, thank you for watching this video and I'll see you soon.